And so anyways, I ended up getting, some months went by and I ended up getting arrested in this empty house. There wasn't even a toilet or a sink. I was sleeping in there for like 3 days. When I went to court, they told me that I was going to get a life sentence. This was in March of 1995, and I couldn't believe that I was going to get life for being in an empty house too. So to make a long story short, they offered me a deal to do 10 straight years. I didn't have no lawyer, so I said, okay, I'm 35, I'll be out when I'm 45. I took the deal. I went to the reception center, and they asked everybody in there who wants to test for HIV, and I told them I'll test. And they tell you in there, if you don't have HIV, you won't hear from us. If you have, we'll contact you within 2 weeks. So like 3 weeks went by, and then one day my cell door popped open, and the gunner up there wrote Plato, and I was like, yeah. It reported to the clinic, and I was like, there was like I don't know if anybody had that feeling, this empty feeling that just, drops to your feet. Because there was only one reason for me to go to that clinic, because they had already told me, if you don't have it, we won't contact you. Now they're opening my cell door. So I went to the clinic, and there was a doctor sitting there with my medical file. And he got up and left on purpose. I looked over there, and it said I was HIV positive, And when I read that, it wasn't like, oh, I'm going to die. Why me? To me, at first, I used to say I deserved it, but I got corrected by people who care, because nobody deserves it. Nobody deserves it. See, but I say that because, you know what, I have no one to blame but myself. I knew about HIV/AIDS. I knew how you could get it. You know what I mean? I just didn't care enough about myself, to take care of myself. I just didn't care because, like I said, my excuse I used to use was no one cared, so I didn't care. And so I would destroy my life because no one cared, And so anyways, and because I remember I used to be in prison, and we used to see the people that had AIDS, HIV/AIDS, and they used to have them. It's not like that no more because they have way more knowledge about HIV/AIDS, but they used to keep them behind this. They used to treat them like germs in there, like they're contagious, like you could actually get a breathe. And I remember we used to see them people. Oh, there go we used to call them victims. There go the victim, because we knew they was going to die. Most of them used to die back then. 95, they were dying like hotcakes. So they sent me to this place called Vacaville. They gave me a job in a hospital where all these people are dying at, and not only from AIDS were they dying. People are dying in prison every day. I told you my brother just died like 3 weeks ago in there. And most of them ain't dying from AIDS. Most of them are dying from drug-related disease, their liver, their kidneys, from all the drugs they did when they was young. That's why I'm standing here today, so you don't have to get cut short in life. Because you're human, so you're not going to escape. Not too many people escape. So anyways, they wanted me to get on those meds. You see that bag of meds she showed you? They wanted me to get on these meds, right? And back then, they were way more. Now you can get them into like 2 pills, but they're toxic. And I used to see the ones on the meds, and they look like death. I used to eat good though because they couldn't eat, and they wouldn't eat. They were all, and the meds were doing it because, like she said, you have to take these meds every day, the same time, every single day for this one dose. HIV laughs and mutates and builds a resistance to the meds. Once that happens, the meds are no good for you. And in prison, that's impossible to take your meds every day the same. It's impossible, man. People are getting sliced up. You might not get meds for 3 days in there. And then I also learned, so I didn't take meds for 13 years. I refused HIV. I was scared to death of the meds. I used to hear people in their cells, blood, throwing their guts up from the meds, pulling their bodies out in the morning. I seen so many people dying.
5 minutes.
Okay, I seen so many people dying there. Anyways, to make a long story short, as years started going by, because I didn't know you could live 10 years with HIV, I thought I was going to die in there. And I realized one time, like I said, excuse I used that no one cared until one day I said, you know what, I care. I started caring. Maybe it took this deadly disease to start caring for myself. But once I started caring for myself, I realized, you know what, I can't believe when I get out of here, I spent 25 years behind those bars, man. In and out, but actual 25, my brother was in there for 40-something years. So once I started caring about it, I said, man, I could have had houses, business, I could have been the president. So I was telling God, let me come out, man, so I can tell these youngsters right here, so they don't have to suffer HIV/AIDS, man. Let me come out here, maybe they had a father like mine that told me I was garbage, never be nothing. Let me go out here so I can tell them that's a lie. That every single one of them is special, man. Every single one, because see, you're the key. Not to get this HIV virus, not to gangbang, not to use drugs. No one can make you do it. No one can make you do it. So I say I put so much emphasis on caring about yourself because, see, to me, that's the key. Because if you know that you're precious, I don't care if you might have worse problems than mine. I don't care if you walk outside your house and it's gang infested, drug infested. I don't care if your grandpa, great, everybody been to prison. That don't mean you have to do it, man. Please don't do it. Please don't do it, man. It ain't worth it, man. There's a lot of pleasurable things in life, man, that they will cost you at the end, man. And and that's where you have to hold back and abstain, not only from sex, but drugs and alcohol, you know. And so anyways, I got out and I was determined to give back all the damage I did to society. Not because I'll go back, I'm not scared of prison, man. I did 25 years in there, man. I wanted to do what's right because it's just the right thing to do. I just wanted to do what's right, man. You know, because like I said, you know, a lot of innocent things happened to me when I was a kid, but once I start breaking the law, doing people wrong, I don't care if it's taking 5 cents for somebody. Whenever I was doing wrong, I knew something was going to happen to me. It always did. I could show you scars. I could tell you about beatings and all these things I had to face whenever I was doing wrong, see. And so I always understood that principle, see. So I decided that, just like when they told me I had HIV, it was like, oh, there's my issue. There's my issue. That's what I get. Want to be out there stealing, robbing, cheating, lying, putting that in. This is what happened, you know. So now it's like I'm not watching my back, wondering what terrible thing is going to happen to me. I'm not saying it won't. A lot of things happen to innocent people, you know. But I know one thing: I ain't expecting no bad, because I ain't doing nobody no wrong, you know. And so, anyways, but then by the grace of God, I met Wendy. I've been doing this for like 9 years because, like I said, I don't want none of you guys to suffer all this premature death that you don't have to. You don't have to. All right? So please take care of yourself. You deserve it. All right.
Thank you very much.